that. Where's your phone? Can you give me your phone before you go?
No.
No.
We're up.
Alright. What's up, guys? Welcome back to No Collar Entertainment.
Collar Entertainment. This is Matt.
This is Ariane.
This is Juice. At some point, one of you guys is gonna need to like pick who's gonna do it.
Well, he was leaving, so I figured I was gonna do it. And we're back with Squeegee Side Chick Wednesday.
Squeegee Side Chick Wednesday, which means it is time for another episode of The Wheel.
Woo.
And this week's episode of The Wheel, we are reviewing the 1994 children's movie The Pagemaster, starring Macaulay Culkin and Christopher Lloyd, featuring the voice talents of Sir Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, and the legendary Frank Welker. Frank Welker, who, if you do not know, is famous for playing Freddy from Scooby-Doo, Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, and Megatron from the original Transformers. Frank Welker is a gem. He still does voices to this day. God bless him, and please thank you for our childhood. Okay. So, some factoids on this movie. So, real quick, the summary. A cowardly boy who buries himself in accident statistics enters a library to escape a storm, only to be transformed into an animated illustration by the Pagemaster. He has to work through obstacles from classic books to return to real life. This movie was directed by Peyote Hunt and Joe Johnston. I was looking at... Hang on. Let me see if I have... I believe Peyote Hunt directed the animated portions of the film. Yes, and Joe Johnston did the live. Written by David Kirshner, David Kasky, and Ernie Contreras. Okay, yep. I don't have the budget on me right away, but this film was nominated in 1995. Was nominated for Best Film in 1995 for Fantasporto. It was nominated for a Grammy for Best Song written specifically for a motion picture or for television.
I'm listening.
It was nominated for a Golden Reel Award in 1995 and 1994. One was unknown, and the other was for Best Sound Editing, Sound Effects, and Foley for Feature Film. Nominated for a Razzie for Worst Actor, Macaulay Culkin. And also a 1994 nominee for Stinker Award Worst Actor for Macaulay Culkin.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. And
he probably did all his lines in like an hour.
yeah, but it's also a children's movie. I'm sure there was worse.
He is the protagonist in a children's movie, and 90% of his lines are the exit.
No, that's more a writing thing than it is an acting thing.
Yeah.
The thing is that it was more or less, they felt like they wanted to make fun of this movie, so they razzed on him.
Yeah.
Rather than the actual film. But screw you guys, he's a child.
Yeah,
he's not a child in this movie.
Yeah,
still.
this movie came out in 1994, so he's probably
like
10 or 11.
He's like 2 years younger than I am. So
that says something.
Yeah.
So, also the music was done by James Horner, who has done a bunch of films, I believe, including Titanic, amongst others that don't come to mind right off the bat. Anyway, so, general impressions.
So, I mean, this movie was definitely part of my childhood when I was growing up. So, you have your nostalgic moments, and there's still some jokes that are still good. It's not
Still have never seen.
Titanic. So,
Wow.
it's fun. It's definitely a kid's movie.
Yeah.
And unlike some kids' movies, it does age out.
Yeah.
That's very much
I can still go back and enjoy the entire Toy Story trilogy.
Oh, of course.
Even 4.
Let's say, you mean series.
But the first 3 especially hold up very well.
Oh, absolutely.
Monsters, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
A Bug's Life. The Incredibles.
Couldn't get into Bug's Life.
The Incredibles.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, there are children's movies that, no matter how old you are, you can go back and watch them and enjoy them. This, I do not believe, is one of them.
No, I agree, especially now rewatching as an adult. The wave of nostalgia. So I'm gonna go next real quick. Ari, if that's okay.
That's fine.
The wave of nostalgia was there. Especially for young Macaulay Culkin, Christopher Lloyd. But as you guys saw, or as we're watching it, I'm kind of ripping on it myself. Now that I've kind of gotten the eye for certain things, fun moments, but it's okay. Alright.
This was not part of my childhood. I had basically kind of aged out when the movie came out, so I don't have any nostalgia feelings towards it. And I remember when it came out, thinking this doesn't look interesting to me at all. And unfortunately, I still persist in that feeling on it. I've seen it now with Matt. Maybe watched it at some point while we were dating.
Because this is my childhood.
And then I'm watching it now again, and I don't remember much from it. And it's not the worst kids movie in the world. It's not the worst movie in the world, but my first impression of it was pretty accurate then. It's still accurate now. I didn't really appreciate it very much.
Fair enough.
It felt like, and especially after having watched it, I didn't realize it was going to be what feels like a propaganda movie for your public library.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, okay. Of all things that'd be propaganda.
Yeah, I'm not going to be mad about propaganda for the reading.
Yeah, right?
But it feels so heavy-handed. Like, hey, kids, don't you want to go to the library? Look how cool it is. Like, it's
Look
never
what you
gonna
can
work.
discover by going to the library. Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of my film repertoire came from the library. Once I found out you could rent movies from there.
That's different.
Not only that, books were avid in my childhood. I read a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think this movie's gonna make
I appreciate it.
No, I don't think this movie's gonna make you, as a child, go, like, I've been having, my ticket to the library is all wrong. I need to start going to the library more and having adventures in reading. Like, that's not what's gonna happen as a result of you watching this movie.
I just like reading going into this.
No, but that's not. I'm not anti-library either. In fact, actually, I'm probably more pro-library now than I ever was. But at the time as a kid, yeah, the library was just the library. You went because you had to, but sometimes you went because you wanted to. And, like, that's if you enjoyed reading and stuff. Like, but yeah, no, it's one of those. It felt like, hey, kids, look at how cool the library is. And that's not gonna make it an enjoyable film.
This movie was basically targeted for kids like me who really didn't like going to the library. Like, the only reason I went to the library growing up was because I had to for book reports or to look up information. Even to this day, I am not an avid reader. I prefer visual media, sometimes audio media. So reading at certain points for me, just personally, just kind of, I can get easily distracted, especially if I see words that catch my attention.
Trelawney says be anti-library, but the actual media is saying library
are awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And my question to you, Juice, is did this movie change your mind about the library?
At the time, not that I can remember.
Yeah, that's
at the time of release, I was a Macaulay Culkin fan. You know, coming out of the 2 Home Alone movies and Richie Rich, I was like, oh, it's Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be fun. At least this, or maybe this was before Richie Rich.
Richie Rich was about like somewhere in this era.
Yeah,
because I remember watching that one when it came out, and I think I was probably about 12.
Right.
So it was probably before this movie, but after Home Alone.
I think it was after this movie because he seems. I think it's after this movie because he seems very much older.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember like I saw Richie Rich in the theater. That was about 12.
Yeah, so did I.
That'd have been 19. My phone is dead, so I can't check on that. So
fair, that's fine.
So let's get to the good.
The good. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna make this first stream.
Let's go ahead and have you start.
The good. I really didn't have any problem with any of the acting. I know some of you were talking about the Razzies or whatever. Like, I didn't have an issue with the acting. It was a bad script. It's not their fault.
No.
The voice acting was fine. It was interesting. Not interesting, but like I kind of appreciated that they did put all these different like titles from different stuff in there. Like I actually at some point when my phone died, they're in the section where the Hound of the Baskervilles comes up and they're like trying to figure out how to get out. And I was like, oh, what section are they in? They must be a mystery. Because if you know what Hound of the Baskervilles are and the Red-Headed League, if you have any idea what either of them are, I wasn't super familiar with Hound of the Baskervilles. I've heard of it. Like, I think that's mystery, but also it kind of sounds like it might be horror. But Red-Headed League was definitely Sherlock Holmes. I Googled it to confirm, and it was. So that makes it mystery.
And the Hound of Baskervilles is Sherlock Holmes, too.
It's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I don't know if it's...
Is it not Sherlock Holmes?
I don't know if it's Sherlock Holmes, but it's definitely the same author.
There was an Adventures of Sherlock Holmes title.
I didn't see that one.
I
So
did.
it was interesting seeing the stories that are like they had the Merchant of Venice and the Odyssey and stuff probably on what we consider classics.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind of neat. Like now as an adult, like I would never know what like most of those titles were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an adult going through and watching, oh yeah, I know what those are. Oh, it looks interesting. I might want to read it.
The Shining was a nice touch
Yeah,
of horror.
no, horror. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's pretty much what I was watching for through the whole thing was the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like, Moby Dick, Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah.
And then all the books in the background.
Pretty much.
So there were some appreciated call outs.
No, yeah, that's basically what most of my good is gonna be, honestly. I think that's gonna be it, honestly. I'll think of some more if I can, but that's all I got.
Okay. Matt.
I'm gonna go. Christopher Lloyd is fantastic. He always is. Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, Leonard Nimoy,
Frank Welker.
Frank Welker. Macaulay Culkin just had the same line over and over again. It felt like Macaulay Culkin. Well, that's bad. So I'll get to that. But the animation, I want to point out specifically three major moments.
Okay.
And they're all the big reveals of each section.
Okay.
So when Dr. Jekyll turns into Mr. Hyde, the way the shading and the lighting changes for that transformation. Then when Ahab sees Moby Dick, the way the light changes and kind of silhouettes him out.
Yeah.
And then the appearance of the dragon out of the mountain. All of those are animated so well and still are a joy to look at.
Oh, absolutely.
And some fantastic eye candy. So I have to shout out the animators for that. I'm gonna say that's my good.
Okay. I'm gonna basically kind of backpack off of your goods for the most part. I love Christopher Lloyd. He's great. I'll probably say I might say that. I don't know. I might say that as bad. But no, I love Christopher Lloyd. Patrick Stewart just sounds like he was having fun. All of the
Strange says, "Oof! When the good is Easter eggs, that means the movie's not great."
Yeah, the voice acting good. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Backpacking off of what you said. Those are pretty much my good as well. Nothing else really stood out to me.
Yeah.
It's mostly animated, and there's maybe like 5 full minutes of live action.
Yeah. This movie seems like they said, let's use all the budget for the best animators and the best actors we could find. Mm-hmm. Fuck the script. Fuck the director.
Yep.
We don't need any of that.
Pretty much.
Fuck the actors, save the sound department.
All right, so the bad.
So the bad.
Who would like to
bad
go
go again with this one? The bad for me was the live action sections.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
The first part from the parents and their contrived bullshit as to and the setup for the child himself as to what he's into and what he's not into. Like, oh, I put him in middle league, and all of a sudden he started freaking everyone out with all these statistics and stuff. And on one hand, it's okay, yeah, it's kind of a macabre kid. I get it. Probably should worry about how we're referring to other people and like not freaking them out because it makes you feel good. Unless you're trying to help them, and even still, they don't want it. So just whatever appropriate conversations and social niceties. We're trying to learn that. We're 10. I get it. But also, hey, does that really seem like something that your kid who's super concerned about safety really wants to do? No, I'm making his treehouse and he's not going to be able to appreciate it. Then why are you fucking making him the treehouse? Why are you
and continues to build it.
Why are you bitching with the kid not liking the treehouse because you're doing something that he didn't ask you to do? Like, that sort of thing.
It's the classic father syndrome of the father only knows how to parent based on what he would have liked as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is it so difficult to look at your kid and go, what do you want to do?
Oh, because we still hadn't gotten to that point at this stage in history.
That's really not hard.
It's not. And I mean, I'm not saying all parents did that at this time. Like, my parents did that for the most part when I was growing up. So, like, they did
definitely
have
had
interest.
input, yeah.
Yeah, like, this was absolutely not one of those examples.
Now, don't get me wrong, my input was more of, like, you are doing a sport. Which one do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, I don't think we had that. We had maybe, like, music, actually. You're going to do an instrument. And, like, we didn't really get a choice, like, with piano. We were just learning piano. We had a big-ass piano in our house. Like, what else were we going to learn on?
Well, your dad was also big into music, right?
Yes, very much.
My dad was big into sports, so sports.
Well, I think also because, like, as kids, like, you just bang away at the piano without realizing what's there.
Yeah.
It just makes noise. And at some point, your parents are like, okay, I need you to not break that, so I need you to know what you're doing when you touch it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to learn how to play the piano. And then if you want to play other instruments, this is an easy way for you to learn how to play other instruments. Because it is. But no, like everything else I wanted to do, like art, writing, astronomy, whatever, like ballet, whatever the fuck, like stole my interest for the time being. If my parents could afford it, then yeah, go ahead and do it. It was up to me to actually stay interested in it, and unfortunately I did not for a lot of this stuff because ADHD is a bitch. So, no, yeah, the parents not really parenting. I was gonna be super upset. I said at some point during the stream, if we look up and see this kid after he's been through this fucking storm, and the parents aren't even the least bit concerned. Oh god damn it.
Cat fight.
About where the child has been in that tsunami, I'm calling it a bad, maybe even a fucking ugly. Hey! Cut it out.
1 second, guys.
Sorry, we got a cat parent here. No, you too.
No, she didn't do anything that time.
Oh,
okay,
shit.
fair enough.
She walked up there and Ripley attacked.
Sally, stop. You too. I keep feeding you when you're whining, and we're done.
Alright.
Alright.
Anyway.
I was not allowed to pick what I was interested in. I was made
to do things.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happens to this kid, and it's very obvious he's not a good fit for a lot of things that they're making him do. Now, I'm gonna get into that, why it's ugly later on, but what I will also say is I hate the fucking other kids who made fun of him. Not just so much because they made fun of him, because they're obviously there just for the point of making him look more weird than he already is, but because of all the acting. If you're not pick on somebody in this movie for acting, pick on all those little kids.
Yeah.
Where are you going, the moon?
Again, writing is terrible, but then also the kids.
If he was going to the moon, that would make him the coolest person of you all.
Such mirthless laughter. Like, I just, ugh.
Oh my god, and it's so elongated. It's
it's soulless. It was fucking soulless. Like, yeah, okay, no. So all of the live action shit pissed me off.
Yep.
Including the part where we're introduced to Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
It's just so over the top. I guess kid movie and everything, but to a certain extent, it's also like, okay, now we're like verging on creepy here.
Yeah. Invasion of personal space much.
Yes. And I'm gonna call it bad, even though it needs to be an ugly, and it's good. Good God, I can't. Okay, I can't. I got dogs or I got cats. Which one do you want?
Nude started that one. Take the dog.
Okay.
Where's a water bottle? Do we have
It's to your right. It's on the floor. Is there any water in it? Okay, cool. But at any rate, I'm gonna call it a bad because of, I guess, time, blah blah blah, or whatever the hell. Because otherwise it'd be an ugly. But the idea that at some point they're like, I need nails. Hey, little boy, here's some money. Go spend it on. Don't buy magic beans with it, basically. Like, just send his ass out into the world after he's like, all afraid of everything. Like, I know what's gonna help him overcome his fear. Doing that fucking fear by himself on his bike, and then of course have no repercussions, like without no awareness of like the weather that this storm's gonna come up in any second because he's not far from his house. It's a bike ride wherever he's going.
The problem therein also is like we have no context of this world. Like we don't know where they live. We don't
live in the suburbs. They live in white fucking American suburbs.
I mean, well, yeah, but even then, like you said, like. You said like to be back in the 90s where you could just send a child down downtown or down
as if children get abducted and missing all the time back then.
No, but this never weirded me out. It still doesn't weird me out because this is something my parents would do.
I understand, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making it bad and not ugly.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was not my experience.
No, I understand that, but it is the experience of some people.
It's still weird, though, that you're going to send your kid when you know he's afraid of absolutely everything out there by himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like, I get, like, we're just going to force him to get over his fear, but, like, I feel like that's just possibly further traumatizing. Now, he ends up getting over his fear, but that's why I'm going to go into my ugly later on.
Alright.
I'm bad.
My bad. Live action is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It feels like it was, a commercial that was chopped up and put onto this movie just to try to make it make sense. The deafness to being a good parent and how to be a good parent. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm trying everything. There must be something wrong with the kid.
Yeah.
Like, no, not necessarily. I
would add the script in general.
Some parts are very, very rushed. And it's like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Like, an extra 15 minutes of film may not have hurt this movie.
I disagree. It felt like it was already long at some point. It did drag.
But maybe if they had removed the obligatory musical number.
Oh God! Completely.
Yeah.
This is a 45-minute movie.
It really is.
The runtime is an hour and 15 minutes. So do with that information what you
hour 20.
Yeah.
Hour 20 total.
You're absolutely right. In the 45-minute movie, or a 45-minute movie, that they basically try to pad into something longer.
But here's the thing: is we brought up Troy before the movie started.
Yeah.
And how you will only watch the director's cut. The director's cut is only 15 minutes of content, and that's kind of where I'm going.
That was half an hour longer.
Okay, it's a half hour longer on a 2.5 hour film.
Yeah.
Like, that extra 30 minutes changed the entire outlook of the movie for you. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying in the extra 15 minutes, like, give me some more context. Give me some more backstory. Give me something to care about. Oh, and the obligatory love interest that did not need to happen at all. It just comes out of nowhere.
The adventure and fantasy.
Oh! And then, this is exactly how the love interest plays out. Adventure wants to go fight the dragon, insists on fighting the dragon. Fantasy, overcome by his bravery, begins to swoon and says, "Be careful." Adventure catches the hint and plants one on her that she obviously enjoys. And then he tries to continue the love interest and she smacks him.
Yeah, no, that's what you part by ugly. Continue.
That makes no sense. She initiated it.
Well, no, he initiated the kiss.
But she initiated the love interest.
He took it the wrong way.
He had been hitting on her.
Where does love interest eventually end up?
Yeah, see, we're gonna talk about this more in ugly, so you can.
Okay, all right. We can talk about this one bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's just it's really thrown together movie,
yes.
And cannot compete with the other animated movies that came out
No.
around this time period.
Because this is also around. This is not. Well, this is only a couple of years before Anastasia.
Anastasia, Prince of Egypt, The Lion King.
Lion King coming out that year.
Little Mermaid had come out already.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Little Mermaid was 87.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
89.
89.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the stinker of a lot of animated films that came out around
Yeah.
that time frame, especially like that mid 90s. I'm curious to pull up the list, but I kind of don't want to.
So
It's the Sharknado to Lion King's Jaws.
Well, here's the thing.
Sounds about right.
At this time, like, Disney is definitely on the upswing. 94 is when Lion King comes out. I don't know which one dropped first, this one or that one, because Lion King is over the summer.
Yep.
But the idea that there's competing, like, people trying to, like, do what Disney's doing, and they're failing.
Yeah.
Miserably. And I think Pagemaster is an example of that.
Yeah.
The Prince of Egypt is kind of like their response to Disney, and also it took a lot of their talent with them over to that studio.
Well, again,
that was DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Yeah,
You're
DreamWorks,
right,
yeah.
This is 20th Century Fox.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, all the different people interests that are starting to create animated films at this time,
Yeah.
or, like, during this era, like the last 6-ish years of the 90s, that's when you're starting to see, like, oh, we have Lion King, oh, we have Anastasia, oh, we have all these other things that are coming out. So this has to be like Sharknado.
Well,
That's
we're
fair.
going to anyway.
Yes.
I've never
I'm
seen
shitting
it.
on
I
Sharknado.
probably won't see it.
I would probably rate Sharknado higher than this one.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Yeah. But though this movie, like, basically feels like they were trying to compete with them on some other level,
Mm-hmm.
and failed miserably.
Basically on that level of we're trying to send a positive message, but we don't want to necessarily do a lot for it, so we're gonna throw this together and get it to the minimum of what a feature-length film would be.
Yes.
Well,
and while starring a star-studded cast.
I think it took. I think of it as another route where it was. You had talented animators, you had talented writers, or talented actors.
Hell yeah.
And the studio said, fuck, Disney is wrecking everyone with this animation. We got to get in on this.
Yep.
You have 3 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let me see your phone for a second.
And this is a 3-month movie.
Let me see your phone.
Maybe less.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, alright. So,
My bad basically kind of, it again, similar stuff, the live action wasn't great. The obligatory, the obligatory, the writing isn't great. Again, the obligatory plot. You know, like again, how I mentioned when we get to when he's in the library and he looks up to the ceiling. This is everything that we're gonna cover.
Which is also in the opening credits.
Yeah.
Yes, it is also in the opening credits. You do see some of it in the opening credits. I also wanted to say, in the realm of that world, the librarian is an asshole.
Yeah.
for plastering himself in the middle of the mural as a wizard.
Oh, of course.
Like, come on, dude. Really? Did you even own it? Yeah. Christopher Lloyd comes off very overwhelming, very creepy at the when we are first introduced.
Creepy Doc Brown.
Not even creepy Doc Brown. I wouldn't even say creepy Doc Brown because he's very over the top, and I get it. It's to set up his the movie going forward. But you got a 10-year-old boy, if that, coming in from the storm, and you're just all on him. And he's like, I just want to use it. Oh, it's like in Back to the Future. I just want to use the phone. Let's see. Yeah. That's it.
So I can interject a little bit here. We're talking about the history of like film and everything like that, and I'm just gonna give you some frame of reference.
Sure.
So 20th Century Fox animated films. They started doing something like stuff like back in 1976. I've never even heard of this called Hugo the Hippo.
Nope.
Okay.
And I'm not even gonna go through the list they have after that because they do like 3 films in 2 years,
Okay.
starting in 76. They do Fire and Ice, never heard of it, in 83. And then it's about 10 years later that they come out with a little known flick called Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest.
Love that movie.
Exactly. Once Upon a Forest, I've never heard of. It was also in conjunction with Hanna-Barbera, so there might have been something else similar tie-in that I was
Never heard of that one either.
Me either. The year after that is the Pagemaster.
Yeah.
They don't do anything else for 3 more years, and then they do Anastasia. Then 3 years after that, they do Titan AE. Now, after that, I'm not super sure because I've heard of Monkey Bone. That's another one that was like mystery
Titan
live
AE is
action.
super good.
So Monkey Bone is Brendan Fraser
That's what I thought. It was also
with
like
a
animations is live action
it's
together.
it's live
and that's
action.
more adult.
Yeah, that it's
animated.
It's a live action movie with a CG kind of stop motion monkey puppet.
Right, and so then after that one, the same year, a little bit later on, they do Waking Life, which I've seen. It's weird. It's more of a like independent film. I think that they bankrolled.
Okay.
And then after that is Ice Age. Now you can kind of guess from there. Like basically, you have a bunch more animated films. Okay, for some reason, not the museum, unless there was an animated version of that movie, or they're just counting because it does this weird thing of blending live action and animation together.
Probably
that is qualified as an animated film. But basically, you have Ice Age, and then you're gonna have a bunch of its sequels. You're gonna have Garfield, you have Alvin and Chipmunks, you have Horton, you have Simpsons, Fantastic Mr. Fox. You have they have a bunch more movies they're cranking out. I would say more commercial hits, certainly.
Yeah.
A lot of those were CGI related.
Yeah.
But a lot of that also is because they bought DreamWorks at some point. Because didn't DreamWorks start with Ice Age? Like, that was originally theirs, but now it's considered 20th Century Fox.
I thought it's because they're Disney now.
Well, now, as of
Yeah.
now, it would be Disney. Then I'm not 100% sure.
Well, it doesn't say. It says that 20th Century Animation and Blue Sky Studios. I just remember thinking that DreamWorks was related to it, but maybe I might be wrong.
No, I don't think so.
But that's kind of like what gives you an idea. Like, they don't have much of an animation studio.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They had some
2000,
hits.
before 2000.
Anastasia's a hit.
Yeah, Anastasia's a
Titan
hit.
AE's a hit.
I didn't
Never
say they
seen
didn't
it.
have a studio. I said they didn't have much of one.
Yeah, so
They're cranking out like it's a 50-50 chance basically. They have Ferngully and then they have Once Upon a Forest. They have Pagemaster and then they have Anastasia. They have Titan AE's that maybe is like a 3 out of 5 record at this point. Out of basically out of 5.
So
years.
almost a coin.
Out of 7 out of 8 years.
So it's kind of like you said, Matt. The Disney buzz is high at this point, and and 20th Century Fox is trying to get in there in little spurts. You know, Ferngully was a hit, but then they didn't do anything for a while. So they're like, okay, we need to crank out something to compete with whatever's going on. They put out this film. They do it doesn't go so well, so then they wait another 3 years, and then we get Anastasia.
Yeah.
Well, and the Anastasia, I think, also was like kind of they were pulling at that point. They were also pulling more talent over from Disney too.
Yeah.
Because there was like this weird like coup or not coup but mutiny or something. I don't know how to describe it. Going on in Disney studios around this time, which is why you get Prince of Egypt and DreamWorks studios. Because
writers wanted to start doing kind of their own thing, but Disney was still being very strict on their rules on what they wanted to crank out in terms of content.
That was a part of it for sure. Yeah, and I think also just some people just wanted to be able to have more
freedom
in general. Yeah. So as animation style, blah blah blah. But so yeah, and then I say specifically with regards to 20th Century Fox and Disney is 2002, which is after Prince of Egypt and DreamWorks have come in. So they're like, okay, we have another person we have to compete, and Shrek. So we have someone else we gotta compete with. We gotta actually do something with our lives, otherwise we're gonna go away.
Well, at this point, the CGI revolution is beginning. So now they want to dip their toe into the CGI world because at this point, Disney has Toy Story and A Bug's Life, and Toy Story.
They have several.
They have a few.
Yeah,
and now
established.
And then DreamWorks just busted out Shrek.
Yes.
So it's like, okay.
And Prince of Egypt's been out for a couple years now.
Well, and who did Ants?
That was
DreamWorks.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so Shrek. So DreamWorks now has Shrek and Ants to compete with A Bug's Life at least. So Fox is like, okay, well now we need something.
Right, and so they're taking a page from their books and like, okay, Ice Age.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I thought it was really funny the first time I watched
that
it.
That first one's still fun.
Yeah.
But after that, like I lost.
It's a one-trick pony to me.
Yeah, I lost. Interest.
2 wasn't bad. Some of them I like.
Scrat is still the best part of that.
Anything with Scrat I'll watch.
But anyway, we're talking about this movie. We just got finished going through all our ads. I will start.
Please.
I didn't think I was gonna have a whole lot of ugly for this film, but now especially we're talking about it and thinking about it, realizing, oh no, I have a couple. Here we go. One, absolutely, like, it was just the fucking weird as rules that they're setting up for romantic relationship between the two books. Like, I just did not get it. Because on one hand, it's like, she wants it. On the other hand, she doesn't want it. Like, okay, so we're still just playing into rape culture to a certain extent. We're still just playing into the idea that women are like...
Jesus.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, you don't even know what she wants when you're creating the character. And so, which maybe that's the problem with people who are writing this, that they don't know how to, like, women. And so, like, I don't understand, like, they want to make her strong, but they also want to make her, like, to a certain extent, because Whoopi Goldberg, she's going to be a strong character no matter how you write her. Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, we don't want to be, like, to want him, because, like, it's still a kids movie, so we can't do, like, sexuality, which is things you do in movies all the fucking time for kids, or we're going to digress. So that shit was confusing as fuck. And I didn't appreciate it.
And I think it was because I think someone sat in the studio and said, fuck, how do we get him out to the dragon? Because obviously a book wouldn't go out to fight a dragon. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh, what if she smacks him out here? Yeah, that would work, but why would she smack him? Oh, because he kisses him. But if he kisses her and he kind of forces it to the point where she has to slap him, we're sending the wrong message to kids here. No, she does want it. Oh, okay, she does want it. That makes that okay. And they kind of built this backwards just to get him out in front of the dragon.
I don't know if that's what they did, but it makes about as much sense as anything else, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't fucking make any. So that's one. The other one would be the parents. And it is the idea that it's... so I'm going to use the example. I know, I don't want... She just wants more food. I'm going to use the example of Mary Poppins, right? So, everyone here has watched Mary Poppins. You watched Mary Poppins, right? Yep. Okay, Mary Poppins. And I'm not going to talk about Mary Poppins. I'm not talking about the family. I'm talking about the mom in particular. And throughout the story, throughout the movie at least, Mary Poppins, the mom is... That's why they didn't the housekeeper, because she's like out there fighting on suffragettes' rights and everything like that. She's out there campaigning. Don't worry, Shane, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I don't think. At least I hope not, because this is going to be something to the end. But it's not relevant to the story. It's Mary fucking Poppins.
Yeah.
But at the end of the story, everyone's super happy, including the mom, who was giving up her suffragette cause to come back home and be a traditional wife. And you don't remember that part? Your face.
I don't.
Oh, I remember it. I remember it when I was younger, like, that's weird. And then I remember it even more so when I watched it as an adult, like, wow, that's even super weirder than I thought it was when I was a kid. That sucks. I think Guardian 2, does that count as Mary Poppins?
Kind of?
Sure. And so the point is that there's like this weird attempt in cinema to set up a story arc for a character that is doing something that is contrary to what the population, society is deemed as being acceptable. And there's something weird and wrong with them for doing it. And that's the same thing that happens for this character. He's weird and wrong for having all these fears and phobias. Let's forget the fact that the minute he gets to the rest of the world, everything possibly wrong that we're afraid of happens to him. Now, of course, he does survive, but that's the point, that he's afraid of this shit happening, and then it fucking happens. It's not that he is wrong for being afraid, because it's never going to happen to him. That's what everyone's trying to tell him, and then it happens to him. So it's like, no, you're wrong for thinking you're not going to survive them. And like, no, don't do that. And then, of course, at the end, now that he's gone through all of this shit and survived, like, I can conquer anything. So all it was about was like, yeah, no, you should just kick your kid out into the deep end of the pool and see if they'll swim. Don't figure it out. Like, that's kind of the way that the lesson is trying. I understand the lesson should be like, branch out, go to a library, read a story, which is obviously safer than actually Little League. And like, it's just like, take a chance and live your life, 10-year-old boy. Go out there, like, have sex without condoms, that's fine. Like, it's just all these weird lessons that's coming out and saying, you're afraid of nothing, it doesn't matter, so now that you've seen it, it doesn't matter, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be the perfect little boy who's gonna want to sleep in the treehouse that his dad is building for him now, and not be afraid of going in there. And like, that shit just, I fucking hate those lessons. Mm-hmm. And they happen all the time, and sometimes they happen in insidious ways you don't even notice. So it's hard for me to call out every single time that it happens. But this one, especially because I think it's a kid's movie that they don't try very hard with subtext, that it's very, very obvious to me now as an adult what they're doing. And it's just, oh, this is gross. Sorry, I'm done.
No.
Alright,
You have anything else to add to that? Or did I basically encapsulate it?
I pretty much covered it. It's not very well done. So I'm gonna say my ugly is the movie. It's
Yep, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Wow, I didn't even have part with Xenon. I know I came close, but damn. Or did I? don't remember.
Xenon though, I watched with Xenon more than this as a kid. So it has a more secure place in my nostalgia than this does.
And a banger song.
And a banger song. Zoom, 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 make my heart go.
Boom, boom, boom.
My supernova girl. Like, that's just good writing.
It's not.
Anyway, so, Judas, you're ugly.
I'm going to agree with you. This whole movie, this is...
Who's your pick?
Well, because
it was go back and watch it as a kid. All of our picks
I know it was.
I know.
It's more so
God damn it, Strange.
Thank you. The ugly is the message that it's trying to send out, as far as it's a 45-minute promotion to go to the library.
Yeah,
essentially.
Which I don't hate that.
I'm not against promoting going to the library.
No.
I'm against the way they're doing it.
I'm against taking a 45-minute story and padding it to a minute. I don't care what your lesson is.
Yeah.
I already forgot the song. And I was thinking, when the song came, I was thinking, God, did I fast forward past this part or what as a kid? Because I don't remember this at all. I remember vividly everything else about this movie except that song. Yeah, and now I'm realizing I already forgot the song and what was included in that scene.
Yeah, neither do I.
The dancing electrical lights, I liked.
Oh,
there was dancing electrical lights?
There were ballet dancers.
During the fantasy,
in his hand.
During the fantasy little montage.
Oh, I missed it.
No, yeah.
I don't
was
remember
actually really
it.
You were probably
well
looking
animated.
down.
That was actually really well animated.
No, it was really well animated. The use of shadows in that scene was very well done. But yeah, no, my bad is the promotion of the message.
Yeah.
So.
And when you said that it's mine too, I thought you were talking about like the movie being.
Oh no. No.
It's one thing to have an ugly for a movie that you picked. I get that. That's fine. It's one thing to say the movie itself is your ugly, like. But you picked it!
But here's the thing is, okay, I picked Catwoman when we watched it. And I knew how bad it was going to be. And my ugly for that movie would be that someone decided to make it.
Yeah.
Like, your pick, I was thinking about this too going into this movie. Like, I was thinking about the stream and, you know, what we've been doing, and I'm like, damn, everything's pretty much been a 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Except for Xenon.
Yeah, except for Xenon.
God, we gotta watch some bad movies out here. We need a range. Like, you have to have bad movies. You can't just pick bangers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are we doing?
I'll just wait till October.
Oh, horror month? Yeah, that should be fun. But, okay, so we're at what? Rent, stream, own, buy, don't bother?
Yeah. Don't bother.
Don't fucking bother.
Don't bother.
Don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother.
Honestly, this was more so for my nostalgia. I had found the soundtrack on Apple Music, and it had a main theme, and I added it to my playlist, and I was like, oh, I remember this movie. I actually liked this movie growing up. Now watching it as an adult, I'm fine not watching it again.
I want to say, not even don't bother, I'm going to say, like, read a book instead. Go to your local library.
Yes.
Save yourself the hour and a half book.
Yep.
Just go read a book. Any book. I don't
Just
care.
the malicious compliance. The movie's message is to go read a book, and Ari say, don't fucking watch this movie, go read a book.
Yeah, skip the lesson.
But I am going to caveat, actually. I'm going to renounce my don't bother. Because honestly, if you have a kid... No, I hate the message. Never mind.
Just go to the library. Save
go
your child.
Go read a book. Malicious compliance.
Yeah, save your child an hour and a half and the confusing sexual attention in this movie.
Not to read a book instead.
And just take them to the library. That's it. Just save yourself the time. If it's not even for the kids, just save yourself the time and take them to the library. That's it. Get a library card.
All right, so out of 10.
What did I give Xenon?
Shit. What did you give Xenon?
We gotta start keeping a list.
No,
I
think we gave it a. I think you gave it a 6 or 6.
I
think I gave it like a 3.
I think I'd be at a solid 4 on this one.
Yeah.
I'm there too.
No, yeah. I think
the animation is almost worth it.
I'd be generous in giving it a 5.
A 5 is middle of the road, which means a 5 is middle of the road. Well, no, 7's been kind of our middle.
5
of the
is failing to me.
Five means it's a film.
But there's something redeeming about it, even if it's something barely.
Yeah.
6 means it's just.
So I'll give it a 5 then, because the animation is nice.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just point out real quick. I don't know very many movies I give a 10 because I think it's almost impossible for a movie to really be a 10. I will give movies 9s, 9.5, 9.75s. But I'll give a shit ton of movies an 8 to 8.5 and 9s. And then that's basically this movie is very enjoyable to the point of being able to rewatch it again. 7 to 8 it's okay. There were good parts in it. There were a lot of parts that I didn't like, but I can see myself watching it again, even if it wasn't the most well done. 6 to 7 is getting into that territory of I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch this movie ever again. Yeah. It's watchable, but barely. Yeah. And then 5 to 6 is this movie is probably not watchable. I found no redeeming qualities of it, unless it's something like Velocipaster or Sharknado, where these movies are abjectly bad, but there's still something redeeming about it in that it's so bad. That's where.
And then under really 5 is where we start to get offended.
Yeah. I feel I always have a frame of reference also. What did I give another movie? And for example, the Snyder cut of Justice League was, I think I gave that one I think I gave it a 6 or a 5.5 or something. I felt really bad about giving it a passing grade, but I gave it a 6 just because it was better than the last one. It just got it was a 5.99.
The original Justice League was
rounded up
under 5.
The theatrical cut is.
No, the 4-hour version of that movie is a 6, and that is being super fucking generous for me.
Really?
Super generous. I'm only giving it a 6 because in comparison to the original one. That is the only reason it gets above a 5. And I wanted to give it a 3 or 4 originally. The original one easily gets a 4 for me. And that's being generous too.
Wow.
But yeah, no. To give it a frame of reference for me at least. So this movie, better than Justice League. But it's not really. I'm never gonna watch this movie again.
I would watch this before I'd watch Justice League again.
So there you go. So Justice League is a 6 for me. So I'm gonna give this one a 6, 5.5. It's hovering.
The only thing that could stop or get me to watch Justice League again is if it's a TikTok clip of the scene where Flash tries to outflank Superman.
Yes.
That is the only thing I even would stop to watch again.
Velocipaster, that's a 10. Is that a 10?
You said, I also don't think I ever gave a movie a 10, huh?
No, wait.
Velocipaster, that's a 10.
I feel you.
Yeah, both of you are
idiots. Idiots? Aww.
Both of you are insane.
Yes. That's better.
So, I think that covers it. Yeah.
Oh shit, it's my turn?
Yeah, get your wheel out.
My wheel is not charged.
Oh god, so I guess we're going to skip.
No, we're not. Fuck you. You just had your turn.
That's rude.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to be nice.
Well, charge your phone.
In the meanwhile, while that is happening.
And that scene is bullshit, man. Fuck the Justice League scene.
It wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen.
Superman is not as fast as the Flash. Yeah, no, I've heard that argument somewhere too. No, I've heard that argument somewhere as well.
But the way it's shot and the way it's built is beautiful.
No,
yeah, absolutely.
Him going across, and all you see is Superman's eyes
just
start to follow him. And it's oh. You can't be watching that scene and not go, oh shit!
And the look of fear the look of fear on Barry's face is just, it's beautiful.
No, yeah.
And then after that,
other than that, movie sucks.
all right. So I am in the camp that I would rewatch the Snyder Cut over this movie.
No, Tully.
Only because
You and I
I did
Huh?
I like
You're not spraying.
I wouldn't do the whole
Okay.
4 hours in one sitting though. I'd
Punishing her for
probably
being in pain.
break it up.
No, I don't think that's what it is. She wants more food. That's what it's in there like.
I said, oh shit, but it was more like, oh, that's horseshit.
That's fair.
No, yeah, I would rewatch Zack Snyder's Justice League before I rewatch this.
But if that gives you any indication on what this movie is, we're arguing on whether we would watch Justice League. A movie that a fandom almost burned a studio alive until they gave us the director's cut.
Yeah.
And
because the first one was such bullshit.
Yeah. Because it was such a different tone. It was such a change in tone from what we had just gotten with Batman v Superman.
Well,
that's another reason why.
I feel that maybe that's true, but I don't feel like the tone was that much different, honestly. I feel like it was because...
Anyway, we're not talking about DC right now.
I will finish my thought.
Right.
It is simply because I think that they knew how terribly it had been made. Like, there's just things you can see obviously in it. Like, it wasn't an enjoyable film at all. The CGI looked terrible, even in the first version.
Yeah.
And then, like, when they redo it, you just see, by comparison, also some stuff had been leaked. People knew what was supposed to be in there. They knew some of the bullshit that was going on with the background as far as the industry and the Snyder to take time off, blah, blah, blah. So, like, we know you have another cut out there. Just fucking make it and let us see what it is and let us judge for ourselves.
Yeah.
So... yeah, and I feel like we're better for having gotten it, but honestly, just barely.
No, let's open up the DC discussions. It feels more productive than this movie.
Maybe one of us will start putting DC movies on our list.
Maybe, but so far not. Wait, did I put it? I did put a DC movie on my list.
Which one?
Which one?
Superman Returns.
Oh, wait.
The
bad one?
The Brandon Routh one.
Good.
Why?
Because
you know it's bad.
I know that's why. Because so with that movie, when we get to it, I wanted to have a discussion on why it's bad and if there was anything else. If there was,
I've never watched the full thing, so
okay.
right.
So that'll be an experience.
All right, so my phone is charged enough for me to go ahead.
Hooray!
Before it dies again, let's go.
Wheel of morality, turn. Give us the lesson that we should learn. That was a good spin.
I actually need to because I left stuff on here that I need to take off.
What was it?
Spin off.
What was that?
I'm not gonna tell you until I finish taking the slice off.
Wait, you don't hide the slices?
I was supposed to and I forgot to, so it throws the wheel off. Hold on a second.
So respinning?
I have to respin.
I wish I got to respin.
Well, then do the same bullshit mistake that I made.
Yeah, don't hide your slices after you spin.
Okay. I don't know why I'm not letting me fight.
That's what it sounded like, is it passed a movie you wanted to watch, and you would have given it another shot.
No, I want all movies. There's not. I don't have a favorite on here, honestly. This point, I can watch any of them. It's just because I want to make certain that I'm not. I would have seen what movie I got instead. Yeah, so that should be right.
All right,
so while she gets ready to spin,
she's
spinning.
Will morality, turn. So that's a lesson that we should learn.
Again.
Watch me the same one.
That'd be funny.
Oh, holy shit. No, it actually is off by like 2 slices, so I got something else. But it's another animated feature from my childhood.
Is it what I think it is?
It's probably what you think it is.
Is it what I think? Oh my god.
It's the Chipmunk Adventure.
Yes! Thank the Lord, baby Jesus!
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh,
yep.
fuck.
Yep. That
happens. My heart is... Oh, shit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I loved Alvin and the Chipmunks growing up as a child in the early 80s. Or, I'm sorry, in the late 80s, early 90s. I watched that show on... in syndication for a long time.
Oh, God, years.
And this movie holds a very special place in my heart, not just for the movie, for the soundtrack.
Yep. Yep.
Oh wow, we are in for some shit in 2 weeks.
No, yeah, I watched this movie actually like probably about 3 or 4 years ago. So it was fairly recent compared to how old it is. I found it like in pieces. I think on YouTube or whatever. That's
The whole actually it is actually on YouTube.
I don't know where else we're gonna be able to find it.
Yeah,
the only place we can get it. But I did watch it and I remember thinking like, wow, this actually kind of holds up. It's not like the best movie in the world.
No, but
it's not a kids movie, but it's actually not a terrible kids movie. Like over time, so like I still feel like
it's not the Pagemaster.
No, but it's not. It's the other movie that it actually almost landed on was Rookie of the Year.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of those movies that absolutely has held up over time. The movie that I actually would have gotten if I had not respun was Inherit the Wind, which is an old 15's classic or whatever, starring Spencer Tracy and somebody else, Dick York. But so yeah, I would love to see that movie also. I fucking love that movie, but I'm glad to see this one too. So
I'm very excited.
This is going to be an interesting dichotomy because I hate the Chipmunks.
How can you hate the Chipmunks?
I hate.
How can you hate the Chipmunks?
They're annoying, and it's not that funny to me. And my very first experience with the Chipmunks was the version with
with Jason Lee.
Jason Lee.
Oh, Jesus
That's
Christ.
why. See, that's probably why.
And the only thing I knew about Chipmunks was the Alvin part.
Yeah, the
Alvin.
Yeah.
And Jason Lee's Alvin was absolutely dog shit.
Oh no, yeah.
But I hate the Christmas song. I hate just about everything.
Oh, so Strange says he never cared for Alvin and the Chipmunks, which is understandable because
I would take the Muppets any day.
It's like I didn't say hate, but I hate them too.
Yeah. So,
look, if you're
Max Steel's action porn.
I feel like you guys are basing this a lot on the current version of the Chipmunks.
Well, I'll watch it and I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
But I really just nothing about the Chipmunks appealed to me.
That's fair. So this is gonna be probably a hard movie for you to watch because I think like not necessarily you need to know anything about the Chipmunks besides the fact that they're chipmunks. But like at least for me, when this week, we'll talk about more when we get into it.
We'll talk about it next week.
But yeah, like I feel like it helps if you already kind of know not the universe, but like the context and the world in which they live in.
Yeah.
And the live action movies, I don't think really do a good job of grasping that.
No.
They do a different version of it, I think. So, but yeah. Anyway, hopefully it'll be fine. If not, you can rag on it as much as you want.
No, yeah. Just like you'd rip apart one of my picks.
Absolutely, 100%. At any rate, though, we will be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The wheel.
Actually, no. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Hey.
3 weeks. I'm sorry, because I will be gone for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so 3 weeks from today.
So it'll be 3 weeks from today is when we will be back.
Okay,
with
so
the wheel.
after Labor Day, then I think, right?
Yes.
All right, so the Wednesday after Labor Day, we'll be back with the wheel. We will be still here doing streaming, probably finding other stuff to do. Probably go back to Grand Theft Auto, possibly some Mass Effect in there. Matt playing Madden, of course, I'm sure. Perhaps Ari's
solo run of Helldivers.
Attempt at Helldivers, yes. We shall see.
So, yeah.
But yeah, stuff's coming.
All right, so like, share, subscribe. It's a touch shorter stream. We love you guys. Stick around. Next one, Chipmunk Adventure in 3 weeks.
1980s.
And
the 1980s movie.
For No Power Entertainment, this is Matt.
This is Juice.
We're out.
Bye.
Go read a book.
For the love of God.